Welcome to 2004, A Film Club. I'm Javon Gordon,
I'm Bobby DeVore.
and today we are covering 1946's, correct? I believe so. Great Expectations, directed by David Lean,
Yes.
based on the Charles Dickens novel.
Yeah.
This is a version that leaves out a bunch of shit from the novels.
Yeah.
And stars, tells the story in pretty linear fashion. Starts when he's a child and he meets a convict, an escapee from a prison boat.
He doesn't meet him. It's not a meet cute.
He meets him. That's how you meet.
He runs into him. He
Yeah.
sees him.
Okay. It's
You know
still
what
a
I'm saying?
meeting. What? You have to shake hands. You don't have to drop books to meet somebody. What are you talking about?
Wait, drop books?
That's what a meet cute traditionally is.
Oh, okay, yeah. He runs into this fucking convict.
Yeah, while he's visiting his mom's grave.
Yeah.
The convict's like, if you don't give me stuff so I can get these chains off me, I'll kill you.
Yeah. He physically shakes him down.
Yeah.
For like what's in his shit, and then he eats a ground apple.
Yeah, a ground out.
Yo, do you know what a potato is in French?
Royale with cheese? What?
That's good. It's a pomme de terre, which translates to apple of the ground.
Why?
Because potatoes grow in the ground, like underground.
Ah, because it's shaped like an apple?
No. You ever seen a potato, man?
Yeah, but why do they call it that then?
Because it's the apple of the ground. It's a fucking sustenance that comes from the ground.
That's stupid. French is a stupid language. Stupid nation full of stupid people. Anyways, back to Great Expectations. Alright, so yeah, he shakes Pip, or
Parappa the Rappa.
Yeah, his regular name sounds like a fart, and he
Son of a bitch, why the laugh?
He decides to go by Pip. Be Longstockings, and he shakes him down and drops an apple out of his body.
His orifice.
Yeah, and the convict eats the apple like he's like I ate your apple. That's what it looked like. I know it's just because he's hungry, but it looks like he's like making a point of it in his face.
It does, yeah.
And he says, if you don't get me some whittles so I can get these chains off me, I'll kill you. And he goes back to his home. Okay, so Pip is an orphan. Parents died at some point.
It's actually, you know what's funny about that word?
What?
It's spelled victuals,
Yeah.
but it's pronounced vittles.
Yeah.
That was a codename Kids Next Door reference that went over your head.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I haven't recently watched every show I watched on Carson
Can I
Network.
tell you can I explain the reference?
Sure.
Do you remember the episode with the eye crust
Yeah.
things?
That episode's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but
That
then
shit
those look
grossed the hell out of
so
me.
fucking good until the end.
What?
Those fucking things, man.
The pies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look really fucking good,
They did.
and you find out it's fucking pink eye.
God, that episode's gross.
Yeah, it was real good.
It's good television.
Yeah. So, in that episode, Hoagie, number 2, it's crazy that
That's
I
the fat
remember
kid,
his-
right?
Yeah, Hoagie.
The pilot hat on?
Yeah. He fucking, he's like in an office or some shit at the beginning, because it's like it's like a noir film,
Yeah.
and he says it's vittles, but it's spelled victuals. And he's like, I don't fucking understand that, but I just remember that in my head,
I gotcha.
where all my memories are.
Yeah. In your subconscious.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that stick with you and hunt you at night. And so Pip's an orphan. His parents died at some point. His sister,
He's alive.
who's a bitch, raises him like.
I thought you were gonna call her racist for a second.
She's like bitter about it.
Yeah.
With her pussy ass blacksmith husband.
Yeah.
Herbert. No, what's his name?
I don't.
I knew it said Herbert Pocket. I know.
Joe Gargery.
Yeah, Joe Gargery?
Gargery. 2 G's. Gargery.
Joe Gargery. And who says the infamous line that is now Bobby's Twitter handle.
You poor miserable fellow creature.
Poor miserable fella creature.
because that's when
We'll get there.
okay, fuck you.
He steals. No, he tells him to steal some things so he can get the chains off, and also something to eat.
Steal a file.
Yeah,
Because Pip tells him is
that's the Whittles.
no, it's not.
No, Whittles is food,
Yes,
and then tells him to steal something so he can like.
it's
get
a
his chains.
file.
Yeah, and then he steals
Because
a.
Pip tells him that he's being raised by the blacksmith and his sister.
Yeah, and and he steals a pork pie
Yes,
for the convict.
yes.
Savory pork pie, which
Savory
is
pork
what all his sister's friends say.
Yeah.
They
The
really
Saber pork pie?
don't they slam the table and say, "Savory pork pie, savory pork pie, savory pork pie."
Yeah, I remember that scene vividly.
And so he steals the pork pie, brings it to the convict,
Yeah,
and
the escaped convict.
yeah, and
Convict
they catch the convict.
music.
Also, the convict gets into a fight with another.
Convict that like ratted him out or something. I still don't understand that whole story.
Yeah, I know what they're.
Is
fighting
that hashed out in Dickens' book?
Well, in the book, we learn that that convict's Estella's dad,
Yeah,
which we don't learn in the movie. That's left out completely.
yeah. I feel like they just had there was so much. It was like going to be really difficult to do everything in one
They slimmed it down.
go.
They smoothed the story out. You could do a version where you
Yeah.
included all the elements, but they didn't do that. So
My question is like, I feel like if you're gonna read Dickens, you should like read it in chunks. You know what I'm saying? Like because it was
how people read it back then.
Yeah, it was periodical. I think
Yeah.
it would be best to read it that way. Honestly, I think it would make more sense. Unless
Because the book's sort of episodic.
yeah, but did I don't know if you know this. Do you know if Dickens like rewrote it as a book, or if it just got like put as a compilation?
That's what happened with all his books.
Oh, they just
All his shit was written like it. It was all written like released monthly and then made into a book.
what I was saying. Did he make it into a book, or did it just get?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did. Yeah,
So did he like make like some like
some edits.
not some
Revisions?
edits? Yeah, to
Probably.
like make it make more sense.
Yeah, probably.
Because I would assume you can get away with like a fair bit of continuity errors with a periodical. You know what I'm saying? Especially back then.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they had such a fandom culture.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
the
he was a celebrity, Dickens.
Really?
Yeah, he did like public readings of his books and shit.
Huh.
Yeah, he was a big.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
He was like Shakespeare.
Well, not really.
He was like a modern day.
He was the Victorian equivalent of a celebrity in the modern day.
He was a Victorian equivalent of Stephen King.
Yeah, that's a good adaptation. That's a good comparison.
I know, I'm good at it.
And he gets into a fight with the other convict, and they're put on the prison boat. But like that convict really appreciates that kid trying to help him out,
Yeah. So he's not.
and he
gonna
nearly
rat him
tells
out.
on the kid. But he's
Yeah.
like no, nope.
Yeah.
And Pip does, and he doesn't, and he's and he says, "Oh, I ate a pork paw," and he like apologizes to Joe Gargery
Yeah.
for eating the pork paw, and he says like, "I don't want you to starve, you poor miserable fellow creature."
Yeah. Which was nice. It shows like.
Yeah, Joe's a good guy.
Yeah, I think that, and that comes back up, and I think that that's like part of the. So when we initially started watching this, you explained it to me that there was going to be like some class relations going on, and like there are, but there's no like very obvious message necessarily.
Message. They slimmed down the book. They left out plenty of stuff.
Okay, so odds are it probably applies more to the book than the movie.
Yeah, and other adaptations probably flesh out all that shit.
But I do think that
There's a lot of focus on the Estella romance in this.
Yeah, but there is like there's a subtlety to it. There are a few instances of it.
In the narration, he does like reference it.
Oh, he references it in the narration more so
Yeah.
in the book.
No, in the movie. Like, all right, let's explain. After that, Pip is invited by a local rich woman
Yeah.
Miss Haversham, who lives in a mansion that hasn't left since her wedding day.
Yeah.
And
She
lives
hasn't like changed her clothes, taken a bath,
Yep.
cleaned her house,
Yeah, it's fucking
put
disgusting.
the cake up.
They somehow allowed her to adopt the daughter
Yeah.
and raise her to hate men as much as she does.
Well, CPS wasn't as big as it was now, or it is now. back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, child abuse is all over Dickens' books.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's based on Dickens' childhood.
Where he was beat up by his parents.
No.
Was he an orphan?
No. But he
He just felt
child
like-
labor and shit.
Oh.
His parents were put in debtors' prisons and shit.
Oh shit.
Victorian London was not a great place for children or a lot of people,
Yeah.
for the poor especially, and there's a lot of sympathy for the poor in Dickens' books.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the whole thing is like almost like a poor kid's pipe dream.
yeah, to
Yeah.
some extent. With doses of realism.
Yeah.
And also just he was a king of exaggeration, so there are characters that are straight up silly caricatures.
Yeah.
I think Faversham is silly and
Yeah.
melodramatic as a character.
And I do think Joe is like made a little dopey,
Yeah.
at least in the film.
Okay, so she has a adopted daughter named Estella. That
We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna yell it.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's also not in the same story. I don't know why you think you would do that. Fuck you.
Are you doing me now?
Completely different story.
Because we both did it like multiple times throughout the
What,
movie.
Estella?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We both yelled it.
Yeah.
And I knew what
we
movie
yelled
it
it
was
in
from.
this apartment building.
Yeah. And I knew it. I knew what it was from.
Yeah.
Right?
What's it from?
It's from Streetcar Named Desire.
Good boy.
Yeah. You know how I knew that?
Scooby Snack, catch it. All right, Dagwood sandwich. Let's catch it. Is that what Scooby did?
That's how you eat when like the food is like directly on top of your mouth and you like kick your head
Oh,
back
and those
180 degrees.
in those computer games and restaurants. Those restaurant computer games used to play.
Yeah, I remember when I used to go to the restaurant computer game place, where there's just nothing but those games you see in restaurants.
No. This is my idea for a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like them hipster bars that have arcade games. But
No. Like those hipster bars that have those like restaurant games.
It's like a computer lab in the restaurant where you can only play like restaurant themed computer games.
Like Papa's Pizzeria.
Yep.
You mean just the library, right?
Is the library like a restaurant? You
You
go there for meals?
Well, people always tell me I can't eat there and I'm too loud. So. I mean, that's a restaurant.
You always eating with your mouth wide open, with your laptop playing pornography at full blast.
With headphones in,
Yeah.
listening to something else. The porn's playing on the computer.
You using the library computer to print out images that are still pornographic in nature. It's like librarian, can you bring that to me? Librarian. You think her name is Librarian?
It's Anne.
My name is Margaret, and I'm 56 years old. I don't know why.
Anne's can only be 47.
Yeah. Those are the rules. Alright, so, and Pip falls in love with Estella.
Dude, sometimes I go to the library and there's this like weird Asian dude like making me do all this weird shit. Like watch all this weird shit and remain quiet.
What do you mean? Does he intimidate you into doing these? What do you mean?
Pretty much, yeah, is what it seems like.
Does he work there? Or
You know,
is
the
he just
audience
there?
doesn't necessarily know. He works. He either works there or he works for them.
Or does he just work in mysterious ways?
He may just work in mysterious ways.
Is he God? Is he a God? Or the devil?
In a certain aspect, yeah.
He may be just some weird entity, like an elder god.
Yeah, you know, like he controls your torture.
Yeah.
Um,
In the afterlife. He knows. He knows what you're gonna have to do in the afterlife.
Where I have to remain silent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You know, it's based on a Japanese variety show game they play annually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's why
knew.
I made the joke.
Yeah. Silent library.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't always do it in a library. They do it in various settings, but the whole game is that you have to remain silent and not laugh while stupid shit happens.
The one I remember, or the seasons I remember, it was in a library.
You've never watched it.
I've watched it like a handful of times. Not the Japanese one, but
Not Silent Library. No, the Japanese show.
I've never watched the Japanese shows.
Yeah, the Japanese show. That's the game they play. You have to remain silent while stupid shit happens, but they sometimes do it in a library.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the actual show.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Or the MTV show, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, you should check to see if the Guy Code episode is on there.
What do you mean?
Silent Library.
Of Silent Library?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah, Silent Library is on Paramount Plus. I recently got Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So.
And I'm like the only person that we know that has it. So.
Yeah, it's the only person in America with it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go to Wake, Quippy.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I can't believe they wouldn't just let me call it Paramount Bobby.
It was already CBS All Access.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Paramount Plus recently. Because.
Being real?
Yeah, it was CBS All Access. It was supposed to be CBS's exclusive streaming service. But they realized it wasn't sustainable trying to just show CBS shit because nobody watches CBS like it. Unless you're 80 years old. So they made this Paramount Plus and have like they have various channels on it.
It's
including
not like
CBS. Yeah. Which, I don't know how long Peacock's gonna last, for real. I mean, it's lasted a couple of, probably, maybe a year at this point.
Yeah.
But who knows? The fact that it's free is probably why it's...
Yeah.
Honestly, who knows how any of these streaming services are really working, for real, other than Disney shit.
Yeah.
Because Netflix, they don't let anyone know about how their shit works, so...
What do you mean, how their shit works?
We don't know we don't know the ratings on any Netflix shows. We don't know how much money they're making or anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's all private with them.
I didn't know that.
Alright, so yeah, Miss Haversham tells Estella to break his heart.
Yeah.
And she's playing the long game. She's gonna break this nigga's heart over the course of years. And she's like just on a random little boy, too.
And like, we see him until he turns 14, right? As a child.
Yeah.
And then, we jump to when he's like, what, like 18?
Yeah, and he's 18, he looks 50.
Yeah.
And we also see Estella when she's an adult. They've grown up to be like, good-looking children to ugly-ass adults.
Yeah.
Ugly-ass,
well, we don't see dude's
elderly adult.
We don't see his family. We don't see his dad or his mom. Pip. He's a
that has nothing to do with why the actor looks 50.
Uh,
And Pip, like, that's just who they hired, man.
no, I'm saying that they turned out to be like attractive adults. You were just saying the actors were attractive.
I didn't say they were attractive. I'm
Yeah.
insulting their looks. It's not. I
Okay.
did not say they were ugly ass adults.
Oh, they were ugly?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Oh, well, fuck me.
You gotta start listening, man.
Dude, man, your voice is easy to tune out. Okay?
No, it is not.
Yeah, it's
You're
not.
doodling the
very
entire
loud.
fucking time.
You are very loud. Okay. I agree
Okay, you're
with
not
you.
gonna stop being loud, nigga. Damn.
Okay. So we jump and we got this 40-year-old dude supposed to be a like 18-year-old.
Yeah, we got Dear Evan Hansen in here.
Yeah. Well, no, because what's that happened to? He's working as an apprentice to his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Learn how to be a blacksmith, and they get approached by a lawyer, right?
Yeah, this fat dude had Pip met it just happened to meet at Miss Haversham's,
Yeah.
which Miss Haversham, who just happens to be Miss Haversham's lawyer, but Pip assumes that who says that Pip is going down to has a sponsor or whatever,
Basically, yeah.
like somebody who's just going to sponsor him to become a gentleman,
Yeah.
and who he assumes is Miss Haversham because it's the same lawyer that Miss
Yeah.
Haversham has. It's not. He just happens to be Miss Haversham's lawyer.
Yeah.
It's a small world in Victorian England.
Yeah.
Um,
After all,
Yeah, and he moves to London.
as a true gentleman does.
Yeah, and he starts being roommates with
Pocket.
Herbert Pocket. There's some dude who he
Beat the shit out of.
yeah. This
And
Some rough housing when they were kids
so
once.
right before we see Pip, go to his apprenticeship and stop hanging out with Haversham, he just fights this kid that is at Haversham's spot.
Yeah.
And so, like, kid challenges him to a fight. And
yeah, in a playful way. It was a playful fight, though.
Yeah. And dude throws, like, this wicked haymaker and turns himself around. And Pip just...
That's what it's all about.
Pip just nails him in the face.
Yeah.
Knocks his ass down.
Pip's from the streets. And this kid's a pussy, a little pansy.
Yeah. And then Kid gets back up for round 2, does the same fucking move, and what does Pip do? Same damn
Roundhouse kicks.
Roadhouse.
Yeah. He kicks his leg like in that UFC fight from a month ago that, like, it's going to be outdated reference pretty soon. It's already outdated, but I just wanted to reference it.
Okay.
Yeah, Pip invented MMA.
It was originally going to be called Pip-MMA.
Yeah.
But then there was an anime series.
It was actually going to be called AMA. Ask Me Anything.
Pip invented Reddit.
Yeah.
And then came up with the idea of an AMA.
Yeah. And then he inherited a bunch of Reddit gold. And he went to London. And he starts living with Pocket. And, he visits the lawyer who was in control of his money.
Yeah. And they give him the rundown on how that's going to go.
The lawyer who's always washing his hands.
The lawyer's always washing his hands?
Yeah.
Well, he's got to wash his hands with that, He's got to remain a neutral force as a lawyer.
He's got to wash his hands of the filth of money.
Yeah. He's got to wash his hands of guilt.
He also has a secretary whose face we don't see until we learn of something big about her.
Yeah.
Who he kind of, like, verbally abuses in there.
Yeah. So... and then we see him, being a gentleman, doing what he does, and...
Party rocking all the time.
Pretty much,
in the house tonight with Pocket, his best friend, and his wingman, his broski.
Did you also watch that Fantana video this morning?
No.
Oh.
Was that like a prank video?
I mean...
Because he's wearing the yellow flannel.
It cuts off. Like, it's very short. Like,
so it's a joke video.
He's, like, in the middle of talking about it, and then it just cuts.
It's a joke. It's clearly a joke.
Yeah.
Also, he's become a snob. London living has turned him into a snob.
Mm-hmm.
So when Joe Gardner visits him, he's, like, ashamed of him or something.
Yeah.
But also...
Or he's ashamed of himself.
No,
he's ashamed of Joe.
Yeah, he's ashamed of Joe for being poor. And he says...
And
he actually says that in the narration. I've turned into a bit of a snob.
Yeah.
But also Joe starts acting weird and embarrassing in a way he didn't act in any...
He was kind of dumb.
Like, they emphasized the difference by having him act weird.
And it was kind of like just didn't know the norms. It was like faux pas shit.
Yeah, like he put his hat on their fireplace and then he moved the hat.
Well, no, the hat kept falling.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking idiot. And that's a dumb place to put a hat.
Yeah, but then he, like, just did some weird clown bit with a hat.
Yeah,
some weird
unintentionally,
clown
and he,
slapstick.
like, fumbles with it and it lands in the pudding or some shit.
No, it just lands on the table and makes a mess, spills some shit everywhere. And then, Pip just, like, gets mad. Just like, fuck the hat, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He said fuck. That was in a 1946 Dickens adaptation. Crazy.
And it was censored, too?
Oh, yeah. Pip also meets Estella again as adults.
At what point? Like, I know there's, like, multiple points, but which one are you bringing up?
The first point. I'm going from there.
When he goes back?
I'm not trying to bring up every point in.
Okay, then keep talking.
Yeah, you said that.
I was not.
Yeah.
Keep going.
He meets Stella again as an adult, who now looks like a chipmunk, and they and she's got a bunch of suitors, and she also like.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten about that. Okay, yeah.
She like tells Pip that she's only gonna break your heart. She actually says, Pip, I have no heart. You know this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she starts entertaining suitors and
still. Was this like he had gone back to his hometown, right?
No.
Where's he meet? Where does he run into Estella in this instance?
This is before all that.
Oh, this is before he leaves?
Yeah. He
Oh,
visits
okay.
the hometown, but he doesn't to visit Miss Haversham.
So wait.
He goes
wait,
to
wait,
visit
wait.
Mrs. Haversham.
Okay, yeah, that's what I asked. He'd gone back home to some extent.
Yeah, but just to visit Miss...
Yeah, but you would...
Okay.
He shot down what I said, so I was a little confused
Yeah.
when you said what I was asking.
He visits Mrs. Haversham and Estella, and she tells him all that. And they also go to London together, Estella and Pip, and she's just hanging out. And while she teases him by like dancing with him, but also openly flirting with all her suitors and shit. Especially this one guy whose name I can't remember.
She was just going to London, right?
Yeah.
Like, she didn't necessarily have a reason to go to London, besides to go to London and do what she does.
Yeah.
And so, we learn about her in this one suitor, and, it sort of fucks with Pitt, right?
Yeah. Because, Pip's a nice guy who thinks he deserves it. And,
what are you looking for?
she actually says, Estella, you owe me sex. I opened all those doors for you as a kid. Where's my hug? Does that make sense?
What are you looking up?
I'm looking up the dude's name.
Uh-oh. Wait, which guy?
Oh my god. The dude the big suitor for Estella's love other than Pip.
Yeah, I didn't write that dude's name down. Oh, dude, we didn't talk about, do you remember that scene where, his sister's, like, yelling, and they just do those, like, horn noises?
Oh, I totally forgot about this. Estella also leaves for France to learn the ways of a lady.
Yeah, she leaves for France.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I totally forgot about that.
As a kid, like, this
yeah, the lawyer's name is Jaggers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he also does Mick Jagger moves, but, like, he looks more like Chris Farley because he's a big fat dude.
Yeah.
Like, just like a fat dude who can move, who has full freedom of his body somehow. Oh, okay. No, that's what Joe even came to town for. To tell Pip that Miss Haversham wants him to visit her.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, okay. That's why.
Bentley Drummel. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
the suitor for Stella's love.
So, there's a whole lot of, like, Pip getting, like, shit on as a kid.
Yeah.
And, like, I really think that Dickens was on that, like, 18th century, like, 19th century, BDSM kick. You know what I'm saying? That happened in the Victorian.
Yeah, but I think you're doing a joke, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Moving on. So who Stella eventually marries? She eventually marries Bentley Drummel.
In the book?
In the movie. She accepts his proposal.
Yeah.
And then he knocks it off when she learns her actual parentage, which is to a lady who is convicted of a crime.
A lady whose husband was convicted of a crime.
No, she was the secretary. Jagger's secretary eventually turns out to be Estella's mom.
Yes.
And she was a client of Jagger's at one point.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure because when Jaggers gives his thing at the end, he's like, there was a lady and a child who were left impoverished because we're taking the father to jail. So he gave the wife a job and knew that Habersham was trying to adopt somebody and put her up for the adoption and like employed the mother.
Sure.
Are you reading counter to that?
No, I don't care anymore. But eventually, we learn who Pip's sponsor is.
Yeah.
It's Red Bull, and
It's Rockstar Energy.
yeah, it's the convict.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the movie, who we learned went to New Zealand and became a rich farmer.
Yeah.
And to thank Pip for his kindness.
You go to New Zealand?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
How the fuck? Just by boat?
yeah, that's
like
how
a
people
fucking-
travel.
It's like a 6-month journey.
Okay, I don't know.
It's far.
Yeah,
But I guess you kind of, I mean, that makes sense.
also
if
he's an
you're a
escapee
convict.
from justice in England.
Yeah, they had his face.
Yeah, and that's why he was like all costumed up, not only to trick Pip when he went to meet him,
Yeah.
which makes like Pip realize that it's not Miss Havisham as the sponsor.
He's disappointed.
Yeah, and he's like, Jaggers also tells him the truth about all that. In this weird way, it's like, supposing that a lawyer, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because what he did was technically illegal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. You tell me you're not gonna snitch, right, Pip?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be a snitch. and so Magwitch.
Who's Magwitch? Oh, that's poor
Yeah,
puppet.
that's the convict. Yeah,
Okay.
who turns out to be. Oh yeah, Magwitch turns out to be Estella's father.
Yes.
That's who went to jail and left the mom. Yo, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I know I am.
Um.
I'll watch the movie.
All right. Next time I see you, you better calm down. All
Some of it I'm hamming up. You know that, right? Like, some of that I'm doing just to fuck with you. Some of it's, like, coming out genuine. So... But I'm kind of agitated today for no real reason. Just angry. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't make that noise on the air.
I appreciate if you clean this goddamn table.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, clean the table, bitch. And so they try to sneak him out of the
I'm
country.
gonna lick it up later, okay?
Yeah, he better. He better. They try to sneak Magwitch out of the country. By having him wear a fake mustache and like Groucho glasses and shit.
I had like a newspaper with
Yeah.
Bibles in it.
They start trying to sneak Magwitch out of the country because the convict he was fighting for at the beginning of the movie, fighting with at the beginning of the movie, a
The
convict
convicts
were
were all
fighting
fighting
for. Has like is snitching on to the authorities.
Yeah.
They try to sneak away back to New Zealand on a boat, only to get caught by a
About.
yeah, and
Oh yeah, no, that's right. That
yeah,
was a
Magwitch,
joke.
Magwitch and the convict get into a fight.
And then almost die.
Well,
Yes.
Magwitch nearly dies, but that convict definitely does die under.
Oh yeah, under the
Huh.
steamboat
Paddle,
With the
yeah.
paddle, yeah. And Pip saves Magwitch.
Yeah,
He's like Hermes in a bad.
he still goes to jail,
Magwitch does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of
Uh,
course he's wanted for something.
and he tells him,
He should not be in the country.
and Pip goes and visits him and tells him that he knows his daughter, because Jaggers admitted,
Oh yeah, and
Who
she's
exactly
beautiful,
was?
and I love her.
yeah, and he dies contented that nice kid and is
Yeah,
Daughter.
and his whole thing was that this kid showed him,
kindness when nobody else would.
yeah, and was a poor kid, probably how he grew up.
Yeah, from a poor family.
Yeah,
Nobody loved him.
yeah.
Easy come, easy go.
Beelzebub.
Fuck, where was I?
Magwitch almost dies, goes to jail. Pip tells
Oh, yeah.
him,
Pip learns that Estella is getting married to Bentley Drummel,
yeah,
and
Drumley Bentel.
Pip goes to visit Mrs. Havisham and is like, "Well, you won, Mrs. Havisham. You hurt me."
Yeah,
You happy now?
You broke my heart.
Cool. And finally, Miss Havisham feels bad about it. And before he leaves, I don't know how the candle fell and set her on fire.
Oh, it's when he shuts the door. He slams the door
just
shut. Yeah.
And she set ablaze.
Because all the cobwebs.
Yeah.
Because like we mentioned earlier, and didn't.
And also her long ass dress. She's been a wedding dress in her time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the fucking train and everything.
Yeah. And before Pip even notices that she's on fire, it takes a while before you notice her screams and the fire sounds and everything.
Yeah, but he runs up. But by the time he gets up there and puts the fire out, she's just fucking burnt.
Yeah.
She's just like an amalgamated like.
Yeah, she's turned into bacon. She's like bacon, and he tastes her and he's like, I can make a killing on it. Starts selling Haversham strips to people.
Yeah, because she's smoked and she's like fine aged.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's probably like been cured from all that salt.
Yeah.
Built up on her body from all those years.
And the salt in her just like the way she acted in her life.
Oh, okay.
Her salty ways.
Yeah. It ages quicker.
Yeah. And when the news gets out that Estella is the daughter of the secretary and Magwitch.
Yeah.
Her shitty fiance breaks off the marriage.
Yeah.
And
because they have to inbreed the money.
It's more like a class thing. Like.
Yeah.
Stella decides, you know what? I'm gonna go full Haversham and just like
no
sit in the
man forever live in this house that I own.
Yep.
Now, well, wait. Does she inherit the house from Haversham?
Yeah.
Steph? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, because the light scene.
Yeah, and Pip's like, nah, you're not doing that. And he's like, starts opening all the shit, opening the blinds and letting the light in.
She's never seen the house with light.
Yeah.
Apparently. And she's never seen it in its true form. And it's covered in fucking cobwebs and dust.
And they run off.
Molding cake from 20 years ago.
And they run off. Two 20-somethings that look 100 running off into the
She looks like she could be in her 20s. Dog is like 50.
Yeah, but like a plain-faced 20.
Like she'll look better when she gets older?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a couple Kylie Jenner surgeries. She'll finally be worth looking.
If she like puts a suction cup on her lips,
yeah,
gets some titties done.
Yeah,
well, she's got some titty.
I guess
she's got one big one.
Yeah, I know you pay for OnlyFans because apparently you pay for any Vogue person's OnlyFans.
What? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Paying for Trisha Paytas OnlyFans.
Hey, you're not trying to see Adam 22 and Lena the Plug. I didn't pay for it. I wasn't gonna pay for that shit. Adam 22 is a rapist. But no, that happened.
What? Adam 22 and Trisha Paytas?
And Lena the Plug.
What?
Very pregnant Lena the Plug too.
What?
Yeah, it was on her OnlyFans.
Ugh, God.
I don't know if you're gonna find it, but
you know I'm still look.
I didn't pay.
And this is where we're gonna end the Great Expectations talking about.
All right. This has been 2004. Trisha Paytas OnlyFans Film Club Odyssey. Go ahead.
No, yeah, but what do you think of the film?
I liked everything except for the ending. And I'm not quite sure if that's like the true Dickens ending or not, or if it's a little bit more dramatic in the Dickens.
I think I think she like just holds his hand.
Oh, okay.
Also, a lot more shit happened in the book. It's just a slimmed down version.
And maybe it makes more sense with what else happens in the book, but
yeah,
I didn't. It's kind of like all this bad shit, all this shit happens, just for them to like get together again, or like to finally, admit their love for each other. But like to me,
it probably got more development in the book. In the movie, there's not even enough scenes with adult Estella.
Yeah, there's no development of it. We don't get her coming around. It's like he woos her in this one moment to stop this like weird flirtatious hate she's had with him their whole lives, and now she's in love with him. Like it didn't work for me, but everything was great. I don't know until the ending. It was very entertaining. It's kind of it's a longer film. It's 2 hours long. But it doesn't feel that long.
No.
It uses that time very well.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't feel crammed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it definitely, something is happening constantly.
Yeah, if you want to see a truly epic, long-ass David Lean movie, that we'll see how long it actually feels, but it's the most famous long-ass David Lean movie,
What?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's on the list.
Is it on the list? I don't think it's on the list.
Oh, are you just going to make me watch it?
Maybe one day.
Oh.
I mean, we've watched 2 David Leans.
Oh,
Might
what
as
was
well
the
watch
other-
his most famous,
What was the other David Lean?
Brief Encounter.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Forgot
that's
about that. Okay.
The film is well shot.
Oh yeah, it's really well shot. Some of the set design is beautiful. The Haversham's house is amazing.
Let's talk about that weird fancy look, like glary looking hat that Pip wears at certain points.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
It's a glam rock ass hat. That he
Yeah, it
wears.
is very glam rock. It's almost like they did that to like show who Pip was.
If I was a glam rocker, I would wear that hat.
Yeah.
Harry Styles should wear that hat.
Is Harry Styles a glam rocker?
No, he just keeps on dressing like a glam rocker, but
Oh.
like a shitty glam modern day take on glam rock.
Like H&M glam rock?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it looks like. Looks like fast fashion glam
Yeah.
rock, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's probably what it is too. Well, no, he can afford.
He could afford better, but
High
his
fashion.
shit looks terrible.
I don't know. He's Harry Styles. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Including me.
You fuck Harry Styles?
Probably not, actually. I feel like he'd get on my nerves. Also, I couldn't do the accent. Accent would get annoying.
Is it really that
Yeah.
annoying?
British people piss me off, man.
All right.
You over here being a fucking cuck for the British.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
All right. Where would you rate this? Out of 5.
Would you rate it?
I was thinking like a solid 4.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go 4.5. You might. I don't know.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
4.
4, 3.5. Maybe.
Oh, you're gonna go 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 3.5, 4. That's right. I'm a light 4, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm like at a light 4.
Like, if I was adapting this,
Yes.
I would find a much more attractive adult Stella.
Okay. Jesus, man.
Looked like Stella ran into a wall too many times growing up.
Jesus. Maybe
So why the fuck does, again, crow's feet? Why does 18-year-old Pip have crow's feet?
Yeah, seriously. He's like 14 years old when we find out about his apprentice.
The only person that looks like their child actor
Yeah.
is Herbert Pocket. Like Alec Guinness does
Yeah.
kind of look like the kid that
Yeah.
played child.
That played child. Yeah.
Yeah, playing child.
I remember when I would play child as a
Playing
kid.
child from school.
Yeah.
Um,
You remember that episode of SpongeBob where they play child and almost die?
what? What's that
They-
reference?
They play hooky. It's the hook
Yeah.
episode.
Ah, yeah.
Where
They
there's
call it playing
cheese.
hooky?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. That's funny wordplay, and that episode's very funny.
Yeah. I mean, they were literally playing hooky from work.
Yeah.
Well, SpongeBob was.
Yeah.
Patrick never had his job.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
It's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, check us out.
favorite performance.
What?
Favorite performance in the film.
Favorite performance. That's a good question. I think the kid did it really well. I think young Pip did it really well.
He did. He looked miserable.
Yeah, he looked miserable, and it wasn't.
Little Stella's really good too.
Yeah, they're not. I think back then, like, they didn't allow for like kid actors, like how bad kid actors are.
They didn't allow them to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's fact this is. No, they're still bad kid acting. There's plenty of bad acting back then.
Yeah, okay.
It's just not a particular case of that.
Yeah.
Also, conditions for child actors were way worse back then than they are now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're still gonna get molested, but it's it's different now.
It'll get your family out of the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, then.
Yeah.
Well, that was England, so.
It'll get your family out of the
Your
Irish
charred
conflict.
your charred home because they keep on blitzing fucking London.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been 2004 Film Club.
We had great expectations, and I wouldn't say exactly exceeded it, but
They were exactly. They weren't great. They're alright expectations.
yeah. We'll have to watch the South Park episode and decide which one is the better adaptation of Great Expectations.
We actually probably should do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
This has been 2004 Film Club. Check us out on YouTube. We have a whole bunch of stuff up there.
Launching a Patreon soon.
Launching a Patreon soon. Hell, it might be launched by the time this is out.
We're going to put all the other Film Club episodes up.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll listen to our regular episodes. Episodes that aren't us talking to.
Check out our backlog. We're on Spotify, iTunes. What else are we on? We're on Amazon Music, Google Play.
And if you have an OnlyFans, Bobby will subscribe to it because he does. Yeah. He spends money like that. He don't give a shit. He'll post any old woman with pornography.
Yeah, straight up. If you are a fan of ours,
send
me that OnlyFans link. I will subscribe. That's a bet. Seriously, that's serious.
Yep.
I will support you if you are a fan of ours.
Yep.
But I do expect you to become a patron on Patreon. Also, don't do that while we're recording.
Yes. Please.
Please put all your crunchy food really close to the mic.
Yeah, and if Bobby requests fart or feet videos, do it.
Okay. This has been 2004 Film Club. I'm Bobby DeVore.
Next time you hear us doing Film Club, we will be covering Naked City.
Yes.
I would call it a proto cop procedural film.
Huh.
Okay. One of the first movies shot in location in New York.
Okay. Is it a buddy cop?
Huh? No. Just like you know what an average like Law and Order or procedural episode. It's like that sort of format.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Jackie Chan and no Chris Tuckers in this.
Oh, okay. So, Naked City, in honor of that, we'll be watching the film Naked.
Yeah.
Because we are in a city.
Yeah.
All right.
Farewell.